Okay, good morning and welcome to Yeshiva YouTube, Iyun with Benzion. Today we're analyzing Kesubos daf Pevav. Pevav deals with one of the more interesting Gemaras, I think, in Maseches Kesubos. An interesting concept. We introduced this on daf Pehei, where Shmuel says, the Gemara quotes this Gemara about 5 lines to the top, Pevav and Aleph, Kuva Amar Shmuel, Hamocher Sharchel Chavero Chazro Machlo Machol. Afilo Yorush Mochel, Ikli Mochel. You sell, someone owes you $1,000. I have a loan document, that I can use to collect in court. He owes me $1,000. I sell the loan document to somebody else. Now he can collect with it, right? So technically, if I'm not mochel, if I don't forgo the loan, he can collect with it. However, if I go after I sold him, I forgot. I work at a deal with this guy, the debtor, right? I'm his friend, So, okay, I'll sell the charcoal, and then I'll forgo the loan. So therefore, I got my money because he paid me for the shtar, and you don't have to pay any money because I'm mochel. It works, mochel. It works. Whether you can do this l'chachila or not is not clear. But anyway, the Gemara says it works. It's mochel. The Gemara does mention that if you're dying in the garmi, if you enforce punishment for causative damage, or you're mochel the money, so you have to pay the full amount of the shtar. If you're not dying in the garmi, you have to pay for the paper. Paper is not worth too much. I mean, how much does a piece of paper cost? Not for the actual amount documented in the loan, documented in the loan document. So, how does this work, right? It's a question whether you're dying in the garmi or not in the garmi, but just the fact, how does this work that you can be mochel a loan that you sold to somebody else? If you sold it to him, you have no rights over it, seemingly. And secondly, the Gemara at the bottom, the Gemara raises an interesting question. The Gemara says, about 5 lines from the bottom, later of Kahan Rav Papel, Didcha da Amras Rias Balchov mitzvah, Amar lo nichali David mitzvah mai. He says, according to you, Rav Papel, wait, the Ritva and the Ramban in Baba Basra understand this question. Rav Papa has an interesting sheet that he holds. When I lend money to somebody else, right, he has a mitzvah. He has a mitzvah just like a mitzvah to shake a lulav, the mitzvah to make a sukkah, to sit in a sukkah, right? And not a financial obligation, only a spiritual obligation, not a financial obligation. And therefore he says, I'm going off the derech. I don't want to do this mitzvah. This mitzvah is not for me. It doesn't, I don't want to pay back loans. No one likes paying back loans. So I don't want to do the mitzvah. What do you do? So it's obvious from the Ritva and the Ramban that he has no obligation financially. They can't take him to court, right? So the Gemara says it's like someone who's not doing building a sukkah or a lulav, he's not doing a lulav. That's what you do. You beat him until his life expires, apparently. I mean, hard to understand that you kill the guy. Seemingly even worse than a losase. He does an avera losase, which is more severe. You have to give up all your money. Mitzvah essay, you don't have to give up all your money to do a mitzvah essay. And we're killing him. Mitzvah Losa say you only give him 39 malchus, and if it's going to kill him, we don't give him the full 39. The Gemara malchus says, what's going on over here? So I'd like to distinguish between the top of the Gemara and the bottom of the Gemara. The top of the Gemara is talking about a shtar chol, a loan document. Now, when you have a loan document, when you have a loan to somebody, right, the Gemara always says that a milva lehotzad, a milva, when you give someone money, it's meant for him to spend the money. Meaning, when I give him a $100 bill, so that $100 bill now becomes his. It's shelo, right? If I give someone a picadon, something to watch from me, so even though he's holding it now in his house, it still belongs to me. It's shalo. The object physically belongs to me. When I give him a $100 bill, that money is his. It's gone. I expect repayment for that, which means I only have bershusa. I only have, it's in my domain, this metaphysical domain, or, I have the rights to it, to collect it financially, at least to the shtarchov, but I don't have bias over it. However, when you write a shtarchov, that's exactly what the shtarchov is. A loan document is a physical representation of the money. So even though the money is spent, but I have to back it up. I have a shtarchov, which is actually shalo. So I have, he has a financial obligation to pay me back because it's bershuso, and I have the shtarchov, which is shalo. Now when I sell the shtarchov to somebody else, so even though I sold the shtarchov, which is shalo, however, the reshus doesn't transfer. That's what the Gemara is saying. Shmuel's saying the reshus, the domain, doesn't transfer to the other guy. Now technically, shalo is a stronger bilos than the bershuso. So if he has a shtarchov and I'm not mochel the loan, so he can collect with it. However, if I am mochel the loan, right, you can't be mochel something that you physically have. If I don't physically have it, I can be mochel my rights to collect it. It's only a rights. It's all bershuso means it's in my choice. I have a choice to collect it, the ability to collect it. It's in my domain. If I want to waive that loan, that right, I can waive that right. I can be mochel on that right. Once I'm mochel on the right, so therefore the chov goes away. Now, if there's causative, you assess causative damages, then I have to pay for it. However, if I don't assess causative damages, then I do have to pay for something. I have to pay for the document, the loan document, because the chov is milvel outside, and the money's gone. It's only a virtual. It's only it's a soft chov. It's a virtual chov, right? Money is not physically, when you have a bank and money in the bank account, right? They use the money for whatever they want. It's in bershuso. You have control over your money, but it's only digital money. So that's what it is. A loan is just digital money. That's all it is. So therefore, I want to be mochel, and I can be mochel. However, I stole it in the shtarchov, so the paper at least, right, that belonged to him, so I have to pay him back for the paper. Now, the bottom of the Gemara, where the Gemara says Priyas Balachov Mitzvah, I don't think, even Rav Papa, even though the Ritva and the Ramban say that Rav Papa holds that there's no financial obligation, I believe he's only talking about a case where it's a milva al peh, where you lend someone in front of Eidim, right? You usually don't want to lend in front of Eidim, otherwise he's not going to pay you back. You have two witnesses, but you don't write a shtar. So if there's no shtar, so then there's shelo. There's no shelo. There's no physical representation that you have it. The money is gone. So it's forgoing the shelo. However, I have bershuso. The Eidim are my proof to collect bershuso. All I have is domain. It's the rights to collect. So maybe Rav Papa holds, it's a machlokas, but he holds Priyas Balachov of mitzvah, is that the fact that he has a digital chov to me, he has, it's bershusi, that is not considered to be a shibud on the mamo. That's not considered a lien on your property. It's maybe an obligation he has to pay back spiritually, but paying back bershuso, the bershuso, like we learned, you can be mochel bershuso, bershuso can be nimchal, right? You can be mochel on the shtar. You give up the rights to that, so maybe the rights to collect. Everyone who someone's owed money to, and the person defaults and doesn't want to pay back. I know personally, my wife was owed a lot of money by a certain person, and it's impossible. Some people, if you lent out money and lent out large sums of money, you know how hard it is to get paid back. It's really hard. It's not easy. Most people don't pay back money. Most people are not tzaddikim. Even the tzaddikim turn into rishonim when it comes to money. So they're not going to pay you back. It's very hard to get people to pay you back. So Rav Papa holds, if you do it, I'll pass. So the bershus are the rights to collect I have, but I don't have any rights on the physical property of the person, a lien on his property. Maybe a shibra guf, we'll talk about that more, but it's basically an obligation that he has to pay me back. And that's only a mitzvah, that's only a spiritual obligation. So that's what he's saying by milva al peh. Now, the Gemara says, if he says, I don't want to do the mitzvah, what do we do? I asked in the regular shir, how could it be that it sounds like you killed the person, you hit him? How could it be worse by mitzvah's essay than losas? Mitzvah's losas say, if he doesn't want to do mitzvah's losas, he violates mitzvah's losas, you give him 39 malchus, like the Gemara, like the Brayta says in Erchin. And we don't kill him. The Gemara malchus says, you don't give it, 39 is going to kill him, you don't kill him. If he doesn't want to build a sukkah, he doesn't want to shake a lulav, so then you kill him, right? We learn by mitzvah's losas say, it says in your Adeya, they have to give all your money not to do a losas say. However, you don't only 1/3 of your money to do a mitzvah's essay, or 1/5 of your money to give to a mitzvah's essay. So what's going on over here? So I have to say, doesn't mean physically. It means verbally. To verbally humiliate somebody. And I think when a person doesn't want to do a sukkah or lulav, you can't physically beat the guy. Don't take it literally. You can verbally humiliate the person, and you have a right to verbally humiliate the person. Someone who owed my wife a lot of money, I was thinking about putting up signs in the neighborhood over here telling everybody this lady owes my wife money. She said, you can't do that, you ruin our name, my wife's family's name in the community. But I think you could do that. So the Gemara says, you verbally abuse him. Doesn't say in shmaso until he dies. It says in nafsho. His nefesh is his nefesh chaya. It gives you chiyas in your life. Until the person becomes depressed, the person becomes so humiliated they lose self-worth, and then they'll pay you back your loan. That's what it means. Verbally, you can do that because that's all you have. You have a verbal commitment, like Rashi says. The mitzvah, the Priyas Balachov mitzvah, is learned of hin tzedek. Right, hein shelcha. When you agree to something, you have to back up your words. You have to verbally back up your words. So the payment for not verbally back up your words is we verbally humiliate you, and that's what I think it is. By a milva al peh, it's a verbal agreement. It's done in front of Eidim. It's not written down. So therefore, it's a verbal agreement. All you can do is verbally humiliate the person until they pay you back the money. I have to think of a way to verbally humiliate this person. She pays back my wife a lot of money that she owes her. I hope you enjoyed today's shir. See you in the next one.